There is a very specific moment that most men never talk about. It is a quiet moment, one that usually happens when you are doing something totally normal. Maybe you are sitting in a small cafe, walking down a busy sidewalk, or standing with a group of people at a gathering. You glance up, and for just a second, you notice a younger woman looking directly at you. Not through you, not past you, at you. Something stirs inside you before you even have time to think about it. Then, almost immediately, doubt arrives. You tell yourself you imagined it. You convince yourself she couldn't possibly be interested. You dismiss the feeling and keep moving. But what if that moment meant more than you realized? What if your first instinct noticed something real before years of self doubt rushed in to explain it away? Many men experience this exact situation, yet very few ever talk about it openly. Instead, they carry the question quietly. Was she actually interested? Or was I just seeing what I wanted to see? And before we go any further, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment like this? A glance, a conversation, or a connection that made you wonder if there was something there, only to immediately talk yourself out of it? Share your experience in the comments. You may be surprised by how many other men have lived through the exact same thing. And if this topic resonates with you, make sure you stay until the end, because what we're about to discuss challenges one of the biggest myths society tells men about aging and attraction. I'm Mary Smith, host of Senior Mindful Living YouTube channel. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Age matters. Of course it does. Pretending otherwise isn't helpful. But the mistake many men make is assuming age matters in the way society constantly tells them it does. For decades, many men have been fed a simple narrative. Once you reach a certain age, you become invisible to younger women. You're expected to quietly step aside and accept that attraction only belongs to the young. Yet real human psychology is rarely that simple. Research consistently shows that attraction involves far more than physical appearance or chronological age. Human beings are wired to respond to emotional cues, social signals, confidence, stability, trustworthiness, and authenticity. In many situations, these qualities become increasingly important as people mature and gain relationship experience. Think about a woman who has spent years navigating complicated relationships. Maybe she has dated men who were exciting but emotionally unpredictable. Maybe she has experienced relationships filled with constant uncertainty, mixed signals, or emotional ups and downs. At some point, many people begin valuing something different. They start seeking peace instead of chaos. This is where many older men underestimate themselves. A man who has spent decades learning from life's victories and failures often develops qualities that cannot be rushed: patience, emotional control, perspective, the ability to stay calm under pressure. These traits don't show up in a mirror, but they are incredibly powerful. Imagine two men entering a room. One immediately tries to impress everyone. He dominates conversations, seeks approval, and constantly checks whether people are paying attention to him. The other simply enters the room comfortably. He doesn't need validation. He listens more than he speaks. He laughs naturally. He isn't performing. Which man creates a stronger feeling of security? For many women, the answer isn't difficult. The truth is that attraction often begins in the nervous system long before it becomes a conscious decision. People frequently sense emotional safety before they can explain why they feel comfortable around someone. This is why so many men become confused when they try to evaluate attraction using the wrong standards. They focus entirely on appearance, income, status, or age. Meanwhile, the woman may be responding to something much deeper. She's paying attention to how she feels around you. Does she feel judged? Does she feel pressured? Does she feel like she has to perform? Or does she feel accepted? A few years ago, I spoke with a woman who shared a story that perfectly illustrates this point. She had spent most of her 20s dating men close to her own age. Many were attractive, ambitious, and successful. Yet she described feeling exhausted. Every disagreement became a competition. Every difficult conversation felt like a battle. Then she met a man nearly 20 years older. What stood out wasn't his appearance or his accomplishments. It was something much simpler. She said, "For the first time, I felt like I could just be myself." That statement reveals something profound about human connection. Many people spend years searching for someone who makes them feel accepted exactly as they are. And that brings us to one of the most misunderstood qualities in attraction: emotional stability. Emotional stability doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being grounded. It means being able to experience feelings without being controlled by them. It means handling disappointment without lashing out. It means listening without becoming defensive. When a woman shares a difficult feeling, does the man immediately try to fix her? Does he argue? Does he make it about himself? Or does he simply listen? That ability to create emotional space is extraordinarily attractive because it creates psychological safety. Here's a simple exercise you can practice. The next time you're having a conversation, focus entirely on understanding rather than responding. Don't rush to offer solutions. Don't interrupt. Don't mentally prepare your next point while the other person is speaking. Just listen. You may be amazed at how much deeper your connections become. Another quality that often grows with age is comfort with silence. Most people are uncomfortable with quiet moments. They feel pressure to fill every pause with words. But silence can reveal something important. Imagine sitting with someone and neither of you feels the need to constantly talk. There is no awkwardness, no pressure, no performance, just presence. That kind of comfort sends a powerful signal. It communicates confidence without saying a single word. In psychology, confidence is often misunderstood. Many people think confidence means being loud, dominant, or charismatic. Real confidence is much quieter. Real confidence is being comfortable with who you are. It's not needing everyone to agree with you. It's not needing constant reassurance. It's not changing yourself to gain approval. And here's something worth thinking about. How much of your life have you spent trying to become someone else? How much energy have you invested in proving your worth? Many men reach a stage where they finally stop chasing validation. Ironically, that's often when they become most attractive. Why? Because authenticity is magnetic. When someone senses that you're being genuine, they relax. They stop trying to figure out who you're pretending to be. Trust becomes easier. Connection becomes deeper. This doesn't mean every younger woman will be attracted to every older man. Human attraction is far too complex for sweeping generalizations. What it does mean is that age alone is not the deciding factor many people believe it is. The deeper question isn't, am I too old? The deeper question is, what kind of presence do I bring into another person's life? Do people feel calmer around you? Do they feel understood? Do they feel respected? Do they feel free to be themselves? Because ultimately, lasting attraction is rarely about appearances alone. It grows from emotional experiences. People remember how you made them feel. They remember whether they felt safe sharing their thoughts. They remember whether they felt accepted when they showed their imperfections. They remember whether your presence added peace to their lives. And perhaps that's the greatest gift maturity can offer: not perfection, not status, not endless youth, but the ability to create an environment where another person can fully be themselves. So if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered whether your best years are behind you, consider this possibility. Maybe the very experiences you've been worried about are the reason someone finds you compelling. Maybe the challenges you've survived created strengths that cannot be purchased, imitated, or rushed. Maybe the years didn't take something away from you. Maybe they built something valuable. And if today's conversation spoke to you, let me know in the comments. What quality do you think becomes more attractive with age? Confidence, wisdom, emotional stability, or something else entirely? I genuinely love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this discussion, please like the video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe for more conversations about relationships, psychology, personal growth, and the realities of living well at every stage of life. Remember this: the right person isn't looking for a perfect man. They're looking for someone whose presence allows them to become more fully themselves. And that quality has nothing to do with a number on a calendar.